Welcome back to the Lonely Basement. Baseball cards. So, guys, this is our Mount Kisco card show recap. We had a great time at the Mount Kisco card show, Northern Westchester card show. It's very close to my job. I used to work in Mount Kisco years ago. And actually, where the show is, we actually had a orientation pep rally type deal many, many moons ago. But loved the Mount Kisco show. It is the darkest card show in America. Always bring your candles to Mount Kisco. But we have a great time there. Always enjoy the Mount Kisco show. It was a little light on vintage this time. It's hit or miss at Mount Kisco. Sometimes it's a little heavier, sometimes a little lighter. A little more modern and some wrestling guys. There's a lot of wrestling guys. Wrestling is just happening, guys. There was like dealers who were just selling wrestling cards. Pokemon, the whole usual bit. But, of course, there's always some good vintage dealers in Mount Kisco. Our friend Brent Richards. There you go, our friend. Our friend Brett is always at Mount Kisco. He has great bargain boxes. We always love to hit Brett up first and go through his boxes. And we made a return trip and saw Brett. And we saw Mr. Dan from Dan's Vintage PC was set up as a dealer at the Mount Kisco show. And we got some good deals from Dan. So it was great to see Dan chatting a little. And Dwight Gooden was scheduled to appear. They had all the signs out front. Dwight Gooden signing, blah, blah, blah. And we got 42 new listings. Match Thurman Munson, O-Peachy. 42. And yeah, Dwight Gooden was supposed to show up, sign stuff. Doc didn't make it, apparently. I'll get into that a little bit, but I thought for a second, maybe I'll bring something. I said, Dwight is a very well-known, hit or miss guy at local shows in the New York, New Jersey area. He books, and then he doesn't show. And I thought maybe I'd bring a Yankee thing or two, but then I said, I don't want to. It's not worth the value to me. It's not worth spending the money on getting like a 50-cent quarter card or something signed for $20. Dwight's always around, and sometimes he's around. But Dwight did not show. And I feel bad because you go to these shows sometimes, and these guys have brought stuff, and what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So let's get into our pickups. Old Dwight, the Doc. So, a couple cards we picked up from Brett. We'll go through his stack first. Mike Blowers, 90 tops. Traded. Now, these are interesting to me because I picked them up. Pascal Perez. I'm always a sucker for traded OPGs when I see them. If I don't have them. Jim Leyritz, 1990. Old Jim. Hit a big home run in 96. Hit an even bigger home run in 95, really, but then Mr. Griffey and Edgar Martinez happened. We don't like to talk about that series, do we? But anyway, there's a 1990 Topps Traded box staring right at me, laughing, because I have the set complete. But it is what it is. I always like to pick up the loose ones, not break up the set. So there you go. But truthfully, I wasn't thinking about it when I picked them up. I just saw them and grabbed them. Not thinking about the fact that I own the entire set. 1962 batting leaders. This one's interesting, guys. I needed this for the Elston Howard. Now, you may think, oh, it should get clearer, but it does not. If you look up here at the American League, the batting leaders is clear. The American League is not. It's like double printed, like missed by a little bit. So all the names, Norm Cash, Al Kaline down here, they are very, very, I thought it was my eyes. I was like, nope, it's the card. It is a off print of the numbers and the letters in the black. But that is okay for a 1962 batting leaders card. That will fit right into our 62 team set as our batting leader card. Same vein, 1962 American League pitching leader card from 1963 Topps. This one is not as printed. And there's Mr. Ralph Terry, who had a big 62 year on the way to the World Series defeat of the San Francisco Giants. Thank you, Bobby Richardson. And Ralph in his glory in the center, diamond in the green. What else is on here? Jim Bunning. We got a Camilo Pascual down at the bottom. There you go. 63 pitching leaders for the team set. We grabbed this nice Mike McCormick 71 tops, which we needed. There's a nice shot of center field. You don't get that angle a lot in a lot of cards. You get more of the facade angles, but that one is cool. There we go. That is a cool shot of center field from 1971, maybe. We got a 68 Bill Robinson, the former Mets batting coach in 1986. Jake Gibbs, 68. As they show the same angle that I just said they never show. There it is again. In the 68, Jake Gibbs. And a 68, Mike Hegan. Mike is looking ready to go. That is fierce. Do not get in a fight with Mike Hegan. Don't want to see him in an alley. 66 tops, Tommy Tresh. This is a beautiful card from Brett. I appreciate this one. This one is a great deal. It has got a little corner there, and other than that, it's in pretty darn good shape. Nothing on the back. That's a good deal for a Tommy Tresh. And then we picked up this stack here. Last time we went, he had a big stack of 77 Bird Kings. But what did we do? Last time we went to Mount Kisco, we forgot our book. This time we did not forget our book. And I should have just bought all these last time, but it is what it is. We got them this time. We got a Carlos May, 77 Burger King. A Mr. Paul Blair. Beautiful shot of the facade. A Jimmy Wynn, the big slugger Jim Wynn. Empty dugout. We got a Roy White. Our Mick DeQuick, Mickey Rivers. A lot of these are OC the same exact way, which is interesting to me. I don't know if they were cut that way, these 77 Burger Kings. Some of the sheets, coincidence, they all came from the same set, and they were just miscut. I don't know. We picked up a Reggie. We picked up two of these last time. I picked up a third one. There you go. It survived from one Mount Kisco show to the next. The 77 Reggie is beautiful. A Chicken, Fred Stanley. Mr. Willie Randolph. Great second baseman. Chris Chambliss, the home run hero. You got a Sparky Lyle with a green background for some reason. I don't know. When they do that, that's got to be done on purpose, right? Yeah, it's interesting. Old Sparky. Ken Holtzman. Now, the Holtzman's interesting to me because the Holtzman is red. Kind of fades off, though, at the end to almost orange. They're all orange, except for the Don Gullet, which we showed in the previous show. The Burger King Gullet is yellow. But that was interesting. Jim Hunter, Catfish. And we got a Thurman. We grabbed a Thurman from him. And a team card, which we already had, but it's got Billy on it. Handful of these were doubles. Some of the bigger players were doubles, but I wanted to get them because they were there and they were a good deal. So, back to our trusty book. Let's see, 77 Burger King. Look at all those lines. One left. We crossed off all the lines on the 77 Burger Kings except for one, the Lou Piniella short print. The Lou Piniella short print, if you're not aware, the card was not made. George Steinbrenner famously threw a fit and said, "What the heck are you talking about, Lou Piniella? There's 22 cards. Lou Piniella is one of our stars. He needs a card." They rushed a Lou Piniella into production, and it was short printed and hard to find. And Lou Piniella goes for $50 to $100 in that ballpark. Condition, of course, matters. But my goal, my dream is to still find one in a dollar box with some other Burger Kings and get a steal. But we might have to suck it up and buy one of these days because it is the last card we need for that set. This is beautiful. Pro Cards, Bernie Williams, Columbus Clippers. Taking a swing there from the right side. Now, Bernie, it's the left side. It's backwards on the camera. Now, Bernie, this card is beautiful. I have a lot of these. I pulled every crappy Columbus Clippers guy who never made it or barely made it to the Yankees. And I never pulled the Bernie. So I got a lot of pro cards, but we needed that Bernie. This one I needed, so I grabbed it. This was in his box, a Mike Easler, 87 All-Star. Love Mike Easler. In the mid-80s, 87, power hitter. DH, first base, little backup for Donnie there for a while. Speaking of, I can't help myself, guys. In Brett's stack, he had two of these. Two for the titles, which we just bought signed at the Philly show from our friend Mike. But you know what? They were there. They're in good condition. Nice corners. I couldn't help myself. I picked up two more. We're going to have a big stack of these eventually. Speaking of can't helping myself, an 85 Don Mattingly was in there. And again, I can't help myself. So we picked up an 85 Donnie. Because we have a problem. Diction real. Speaking of, we picked up a Drake's big hitter, 83 Dave Woodfield, and Don Baylor. I believe we have both of these cards. Can't help it. Cannot help it when we're in the boxes. And the last card from Brett. A beautiful 78 Mickey Roos. Look at that rough cut. What is the deal with the rough cut? Oh, it is OPG. There you go. I'm never going to pass up a 78 OPG Yankee card in a bargain box. So that's what we got from Brett. Thank you so much, Brett. That was a great stack. And we wandered around the show. And on the opposite caddy corner, or the opposite corner, was Dan. Dan from Dan's Vintage PC was set up as a dealer at the Mount Kisco show. It was great to see Dan. We chatted a lot. It was actually funny. I was waiting to get into his boxes. He has his bargain boxes set up, and he had some showcase cards in the center. And we dug through the boxes. But I was waiting to get in the vintage box. He had a nice box of 50s through 80s. And there was a gentleman there going through, and him and Dan were chatting. And it turns out that Dan and this guy's kids went to school together in the city. We're in northern Westchester, in Mount Kisco. And Dan, this guy used to live in the city, in the same neighborhood as Dan, and their kids knew each other and went to school together. Small world. It is a small world, indeed. All right, what did we get from Dan? We got a nice fair deal from Dan, great deal. And we picked up a Jim Hunter, Catfish, Burger King. This is for the 78. The 79 is complete. The 77 is waiting on the short print. Now we work the 78s. Now we mentioned the 1980 Topps run. Well, Dan had a big stack of 1980s. We picked up the Don Gullet we needed. And the Grail, the Juan Beniquez centered, was in Dan's box. So that, guys, 1980 backs are one of my favorite back of all time. Love the 80 backs. That is the 1980 Topps Yankee set, team set complete. Yay. 81 Topps. We picked up a Rupert Jones, which we needed. We picked up a Rick Cerone. Terrible card, Rick. The fireballing Ronnie Davis. It's a great shot of Ron. R.I.P. Mr. Rudy May. He passed this year. Great pitcher. And the architect of the 1996 World Series champions, New York Yankees, the general manager, Bob Watson. There's Bob in his playing days. Some 81 Topps from Dan. This is a nice card. I love this Jerry Kenny. 71 Topps, the old facade. The upper deck behind him. He's bunting, ladies and gentlemen. That is a bunting card. Bunting card. Backs on these are great. 71 Topps 70, excuse me, Topps backs are beautiful. We got a 72, Steve Klein, which we needed for our 72 run. And last but not least, in the 70s, we got a beautiful Fritz Peterson. That is a great card. For some reason, I think I have this, but it was not crossed off, so I bought it. I did not double check the box because I think I showed it on a video, but maybe it was a different Fritz because that is just a cool card. And of course, when we show a 71 Topps, we're going to show the back, another favorite back, along with 1980. Then Dan had a few bargain boxes besides his vintage boxes, and we found these, and we could not help ourselves. We had to buy them. We got the 87 Classic Donnie Yellow, which we already have, but I can't help it. It's a problem. The Classic Donnie Yellow. I believe the one I have is from my Classic Donnie set, so maybe I could throw one back in the set, the original set I have, and keep one in the Donnie box. We got the 88 Ricky All-Star, which we did not have. And the 89 Ricky All-Star, which we might have. I think we might have just bought this, actually. But it's a beautiful card. It is on the floor. Still on the floor. That's just a beautiful card of Ricky. I had to have that one from Dan. And in Dan's little center showcase area, we perused some cards, and we had to pick this one up. Dan gave us a great deal. We put it all together, and we came to a very fair price. This card is a beauty. We picked up a post 62 Mickey Mantle from Dan. It's got a number. It's not authentic, if you care of such things. But we love this card. We needed a post mantle from 62. I didn't want to put a ton of money into these cards as I build the mantle run out. This is one of the cards I wanted, but the posts I want, the Jellos, but I don't need them in the top condition because I need to save those funds, allocate those funds to bigger things. So we picked up a great post mantle from Dan, Dan's Vintage PC. And it was funny, we were chatting with Dan, and I said, yeah. He said, Gooden's going to be here. And I said, yeah, he has a history of not showing up at these things, to get back to the Gooden. Not 5 minutes later, this guy walks up and was like, oh, Gooden's not coming. And I was like, Doc, hope you're all right. Hope you just weren't making it today. Hope you just were under the weather. The struggle is real, folks. 62 post, Mickey Mantle from Mr. Dan at Dan's Vintage PC. It is a beaut. Very happy to pick that up. And it's even got a number on it. For a hand cut, we'll take it. We will take it. And Dan, like I said, it was great chatting with you. And Dan gave us a real nice deal. We made a good, fair deal with Dan. And that was the Mount Kisco Show, guys. Appreciate everybody for watching, as always. I love the community, guys. I know it's the cliche thing to say, but, you know, you go to a show and you run into Dan and you have somebody to chat with and you have a nice talk and you talk Strongsville and you talk Yankee cards and you buy some great stuff. It makes the community, it makes the hobby experience that much better. If you're thinking of jumping in, jump in, come on in. The water's like lukewarm. It's like, it's warmish. It's fine. All right, guys. That's what I got for you, my Mount Kisco Show. We crossed a bunch of stuff off the book. Yippee skippy. We completed 1980 Topps. That was a big deal. Now we just need the Pinella for the 77 Bird King, which we might have to buy and do a little eBay business or pick it up at a show, graded type deal. But you never know. Might be sitting in one of those dollar boxes somewhere. All right, that's what I got for you guys. You all have a great one.